everyone will quit and
Good
then
luck.
like okay,
luck.
yeah, good luck, guys. Oh, start a revolution.
Alright.
Green, green, green.
What the heck?
Whoa!
Jesus Christ.
Mag.com, guys.
Car left. Clear left.
And points, by the way, guys.
On your left. Still there.
You what?
Clear left. Car right. Shit start, mate. We've got a lot of work to do here.
Oh,
Clear right.
No,
Car
you
right.
careful. Please.
Hold your line. He's still
I've
there.
got 27 damage on something.
Hold your line. Clear right.
Oh God!
Yeah, I know.
And people are braking so early. I like for this corner, you don't need to brake for that corner.
Car right. Still there. He's still there. He's still there. Right side's clear. Car left. Clear left. Left side. Hold your line. Still there. Still there. He's still there. Clear left.
Ooh. I was going to the pit.
Aye,
Come on,
'cause
don't make it easy
say
for
we
him.
just
Make him go the long way
go into
round.
the back and
E7.
Oh, I see.
You can see why there is.
Right side. Clear right. Keep your concentration. Make the bastard work for it. On your right. Clear right.
Oh.
Ignore that fucker in the mirror. Stick to your line.
I'm
Nail those
coming back,
exits.
but I think I'm faster than him in some bits, but I'm losing a lot of time.
He's all over you. Keep your exit speeds up. Stay smooth. You're gaining on this guy. The gap's now 2/10 on your right. Still there. Clear right.
On your outside, Quebec.
Keep him in your sights. Force the mistake. Stay close. Car left. Your water temperature looks quite high.
Got
Still there.
27
Clear
air
left.
damage. Ugh.
Good pass. Well done. The next car is
GXBBS.
the leader has just done a 2:05.5. P6. That last lap was a 2:08.5. The gap ahead is now 5/10. You're gaining on the guy in front. The gap is 2 tenths.
Sorry, Gibbs.
On your left, clear left. Keep piling on the pressure. He'll make a mistake. Car right. Right side's clear. Left side, clear left. The next car is
GXBBS.
the gap in front is increasing. It's now 1.1 seconds. Your front brakes are pretty hot now. The gap in front has increased to 1.3 seconds. The gap in front is now 1.2 seconds. P5.
Crap, I got an awful exit.
The gap in front is now 1 second. You're reeling this guy in. The gap's now 9 tenths. You're gaining on this guy. The gap's now 8 tenths.
Yeah, I'm losing a lot of my straights. Oh.
The gap in front is now 1 second. The gap ahead is now 8 tenths. You're reeling this guy in. The gap's now 6 tenths. You're gaining on the guy in front. The gap is 5 tenths. Right side's clear. Fucking excellent pass. Nice one, mate. The next car is
Worn tire.
P4. That was 2:07.7 seconds. You're a second off in sector 1. The gap behind's increased to 1 second. The gap behind is now 9 tenths.
Oh, I'm sorry. You take the position.
Cheers.
The gap behind is now 9 tenths. The gap behind is now 9 tenths.
Oh!
The gap behind is now 9 tenths. The gap behind is now 1 second. New fastest lap for
Record.
2:05.4. The gap behind is now 8 tenths. You've just done a 2:07.8. Sector 1 is 1.4 seconds off the pace. The guy behind's catching. The gap's now 6 tenths. The guy behind's catching. The gap's now 4 tenths. The gap behind is now 6 tenths.
Yep, so what times you getting?
The gap behind is now 3 tenths. Don't let this guy intimidate you. Don't be intimidated by this little shit. Make him work for it. Car left. Still there. Clear left.
Sorry,
Car.
Gibbs. Go take it.
Car right. Fastest lap for
Record.
2:05. Don't let him get away. The next car is
GXBBS.
P5. Your lap times have gone to crap. Come on, sort it out. The gap in front is now 7 tenths. The gap ahead is now 7 tenths. The gap in front is now 6 tenths. You're gaining on this guy. The gap's now 2 tenths.
How do I get a cut track penalty for not going anywhere?
Project Cars for you.
Get a penalty?
I thought it was impossible to get a penalty around here, to be honest.
The gap in front is now 5 tenths. The gap in front is now 9 tenths.
Yeah, I'm wondering too, because you didn't really cut the track or anything.
The gap ahead is now 1 second.
Oh no! I'll get cabbaged up.
gap in front is now 8 tenths. Sector 1 is 1.1 seconds off the pace. Sector 2 is 1.5 off the pace. You're a second off the pace in Sector 3. You're gaining on the guy in front. The gap is 6 tenths.
Evan, what position are you in?
13th.
The gap in front is now 6 tenths.
Oh, she must have gained loads on me for pits because I just pitted.
The gap ahead is now 6 tenths. The gap in front is now 5 tenths. You're reeling this guy in. The gap's now 3 tenths. Come on, keep pressing him. Force that mistake. Up!
What time's she getting, Evan? At the moment?
You need to pass this twat. You're losing too much time.
Quite variable.
Oh,
Last lap was a 8.4. One before that was a 9.0. One before that was a 7.9.
okay.
Stay close. Wait for him to make a mistake. You're a second down in Sector 3.
Aaron. Shit.
Estebanno, quick.
The gap in front is now
It's
7
catastrophically
tenths.
wide.
The gap in front has increased. It's now about 1.2. The gap in front has increased. It's now about 1.4. The gap ahead is now 1.3. The gap behind is now 1.3 seconds. The gap in front is now 9 tenths. You're gaining on this guy. The gap's now 7 tenths. Left side. Hold your line. Hold your line. Clear left. Sectors 1 and 3 are 1.5 seconds off the pace. Sector 2 is 8 tenths off the pace.
Did you get a cut track too?
The gap behind has now decreased to 4 tenths. be intimidated by this little shit. Make him work for it. The gap behind is now 5/10. The gap behind is now 6/10. Car left. The gap ahead is now 1/10. Clear left. Clear left. The guy in front
Wow,
is...
what are you doing?
Who, me? Who?
P4. Sectors 1 and 3 are 1.2 off the pace. Sector 2 is 8/10 off the pace. Your left front showing somewhere. Keep an eye on it. The gap behind is now 1.7 seconds. The gap behind is now 2 seconds. The gap behind is now 1.8.
Oh, Jesus.
The gap behind is now 2.1 seconds. The gap behind is now 1.9 seconds. The gap behind is now 2.2 seconds. The gap behind is now 2.2 seconds. The gap behind is now 2.1 seconds. Your lap times are improving. This is exactly what we need. The gap behind is now 2.1 seconds. The gap behind is now 1.9 seconds. The guy behind's reeling you in. The gap's now 1.8 seconds.
The hell is going on?
The gap behind is now 2.6 seconds. behind is now 2.9 seconds. The gap behind is now 3 seconds.
Right off the track.
You're pulling away. The gap behind is now 3.3 seconds. The gap behind is now 3.1. The gap behind is now 3.1 seconds. The gap behind is now 2.6. The gap behind is now 3.2. The gap behind is now 2.5 seconds. The gap behind is now 2.9 seconds. The car in front is pitting. The gap behind is now 2.9 seconds. The gap behind is now 2.8 P3. Sectors 1 and 2 are 1.1 seconds off the pace. Sector 3 is 7/10ths off the pace. The next car is...
Worn tire.
Your left side tyres are both past their best. The guy behind's catching. The gap's now 1.8 seconds.
Ow!
The gap behind is now 2 seconds. The leader is pitting now. The gap behind is now 1.8. The car ahead's pitting now. The gap behind is now 2 seconds.
One
The gap
tower,
behind
what
is now
position are you
1.8.
10 seconds.
in? Okay.
About 10 seconds behind Rhaegal.
Okay. You didn't lap me, did you?
No.
Right. They gone lap me, because I let them through, but that felt like ages
Yeah,
ago.
you're going through now. I'm
You're halfway home.
on the
Got
way out
plenty of
of the
fuel.
pits.
Okay, me pit
Are
again.
you
I
going
think.
no stop?
No, I've already stopped because of damage, but I've got damage again. Otherwise, I'd be able to no stop. I
Hunter
think.
behind is pitting.
In fact, no, I don't think I would be. Yeah, no, I would be able to no stop, I think. But my tyres would be pretty close to being dead at the end.
Okay.
There's a
So I've
car
got so
behind.
much
Take care,
damage,
rejoin him.
Just going about 4 seconds a lap slower.
Your brake temperatures are looking good. The next car is...
Duck it.
Yuris, you pitted?
Yeah, he did.
Yep, I did.
God damn you.
The gap in front is increasing. It's now 3.2.
No.
You've got some serious suspension damage there.
Go past Yuri.
Car right.
Thank you.
Right,
So
so clear.
Gibbs, you have been in the pit or are you going to get in the pit?
Who?
The next car is...
Yurisnikov.
I'm not sure if Gibbs is talking, because I tried to talk to him earlier.
The gap in front has increased to 5.4. The car behind's pitting now.
Fuck.
There's traffic behind. Keep your wits about you. That's a new fastest lap for
Ragor.
2:04.8. The gap behind is now 4.1 seconds. The gap behind is now 4.8 seconds. The gap behind is now 4.6 seconds. gap behind is now 5.1. The gap in front is now 5 seconds.
Nice battle for second place.
You're reeling this guy in. The gap's now 4.8 P12. Come on, we can do better than this. Focus on your exits. Keep it smooth. We're not seeing any significant tyre wear. You're gaining on the guy in front. The gap is 4.7. You're reeling this guy in. The gap's now 4.6. The track temperature is falling. It's now 41 Celsius. You're gaining on the guy in front. The gap is 4.3. The gap in front is now 5 seconds.
Be a good teammate, one tire.
What?
Be a good teammate.
No, now he speaks. When he
Huh?
wants someone to get out of his way.
No, I can't hear anyone.
The gap in front is now 4.7.
Well, how did he just hear me then?
I can hear you, I can't hear anyone else.
Right.
The gap in front is now 4.7 seconds.
Oh,
Your front brakes are getting a bit hot.
That one tyre, man.
The gap ahead is now 4.5 seconds. The gap in front is now 4.4 seconds.
Oh, I'm going way too deep.
The gap in front is now 4.1 seconds. That's a new fastest lap for
Rigor.
2:04.8 seconds. The gap ahead is now 4.2. The gap ahead is now 3.8. The gap in front is increasing. It's now 5.9 seconds. The gap in front has increased. It's now about 6.1. The gap in front is now 6 seconds. You're gaining on this guy. The gap's now 5.9. That lap was at 2:09.2 seconds. Sector 2 is 3 seconds off the pace. You're reeling this guy in. The gap's now 5.5. The gap in front is now 5.6 seconds. Fastest lap for
Worn tire.
2:04.8 seconds. The gap in front is now 5.2. You're gaining on this guy. The gap's now 4.9. The gap ahead is now 5 seconds. The gap in front has increased to 5.3 seconds. The gap in front is now 4.5. You're gaining on the guy in front. The gap is 4 seconds. Good lap. That's your quickest today. Sector 2 is 1.3 seconds off the pace. You're reeling this guy in. The gap's now 3.8. The gap in front is now 4.3 seconds. The gap ahead is now 4 seconds. The gap in front is now 4.2 seconds. The gap in front is now 3.8. You're gaining on the guy in front. The gap is 3.7 seconds. You're gaining on this guy. The gap's now 3.4 seconds.
Gibbs,
Yep.
you know you're on the podium, right?
You what, sorry?
You
The
know
gap in
you're on
front
the
is now
podium,
3
right?
seconds. You're 12th.
I don't know yet.
The gap ahead is now 3 seconds. The gap ahead is now 3.1. The gap in front is now 2.9. gap in front is now 3.2 seconds. The gap ahead is now 3 seconds. The gap in front is now 3.2. The gap in front has increased. It's now about 3.3.
I know.
The next car is
Birdie.
P11. This is okay. Keep those exit speeds up. That's your fastest lap. Sector 1 is 8 tenths off the pace.
User disconnected from your channel.
The gap in front is now 2.6 seconds. Air temp's falling. It's now 28 Celsius. The gap ahead is now 2.4 seconds.
Hell yeah.
User disconnected from your channel.
The gap in front is now 2.4. The gap in front is now 2.3 seconds. The gap in front is now 2.4. The gap in front has increased to 2.7 seconds. The gap in front is now 2.5. Good consistency. Keep them coming. You're gaining on the guy in front. The gap is 2.2. The gap ahead is now 2.3 seconds. The gap ahead is now 2.1 seconds. You're gaining on this guy. The gap's now 1.8 seconds. The gap in front is now 1.8 seconds. The gap in front is now 1.8. The gap ahead is now 1.6. You're reeling this guy in. The gap's now 1.4. That lap was at 2:06.9 seconds. We're seeing significant wear on your left front. The gap in front is now 1.1 seconds. The gap in front is now 1.2 seconds. The car behind's pitting. The gap in front is now 9/10. The gap in front is now 1.2. The gap ahead is now 1.1 seconds. You're gaining on this guy. The gap's now 4/10. Clear right. Brilliant. Nice one. The next car is Hunter. That's P10. You've just done a 2:07.4. Sector 2's a second off the pace. The gap behind is now 1 second. The gap to Hunter ahead is now 4/10. Right side. Clear right. Car left. Come on, that's the stuff. Still there. Still there. Clear left. Car left. Clear left. Good stuff, keep it coming. The guy in front is
Visa.
the gap to Hunter behind is increasing. It's now 2.3 P9. Keep digging, this isn't over yet. Sector 2 is 1.8 off the pace. Your lap times are dropping off. Come on, stay focused. The gap to Hunter behind is increasing. It's now 2.8. The gap to Hunter behind is increasing. It's now 3.2. The gap to Hunter behind is now 3.1. The gap behind is now 3.9. The gap behind is now 4.6 seconds. You're pulling away. The gap behind is now 5.1. The track temperature is decreasing. It's now 39 Celsius. You're pulling away from the guy behind. The gap's now 5.2 seconds. That was a 2:06.6. There'll be chances here. Let's make sure we can take them. That's your quickest lap. The gap behind's increased to 5.7. The gap behind is now 5.5 seconds. The gap behind is now 5.6 seconds. You're pulling away from the guy behind. The gap's now 7.3. The gap in front is now 6.9 seconds. You're reeling this guy in. The gap's now 6.7. You're gaining on the guy in front. The gap is 6.3 seconds. The gap ahead is now 6.2. 2 to go. Sector 1 is 9/10 off the pace. You've got about 4 laps of fuel left. Your left side tyres are looking pretty worn now.
God damn it, I'm gonna run out
You're
of
gaining
fuel.
on this guy. The gap's now 5.7
For
seconds.
1 lap even, so...
The gap in front is now 5.8. The gap ahead is now 5.6 seconds. The gap in front is now 5.8. in front is now 5.4. The gap in front is now 5.4.
Oh my god, just 4 liters to go.
The gap ahead is now 5.3. You're gaining on the guy in front. The gap is 8/10. Last lap. Sector 1 is 9/10 off the pace. Your lap times are pretty consistent. The next car is
Visa.
Wow, I can't exit my pit menu.
Screenshot now, P3, mate.
Yeah.
I think you're less on the lap, so P9 and P11, P9, P10. I don't know.
I finished P11. I got too greedy on that fucking corner and ended up swatting the wall and got
You ended
loads
up
of rear damage.
Wait, twice.
Gibbs the gin,
What?
the gin third.
Hold on, I can't hear you.
Ah, man.
Did I do what, sorry?
Did you finish third?
Yeah.
Congrats.
I threw away that third place. Stupid.
I was right up your backside at the start as well, Gibbs, trying to go through your little gaps, but they all kept shutting off as soon as you fucking went through them.
Who, me?
Yeah, I had just as good a start. I had a little bit of a worse start than you, and I was like just trying to get through all the gaps that you were weaving through, but they were closing them off as
P12.
soon
That's
as
the
I
end of the
fucking got
race.
near.
We'll get him next time.
Yeah. Stupid. Them last few laps were so sketchy. I didn't pit.